Hey everybody, I'm your name and welcome to the channel. Today we're going on a trip around the world to see some of the craziest, most bonkers festivals humans have ever come up with. You know, everyone loves a good parade, but some cultures take celebrating to a whole other level. Get ready to explore some of the most bizarre and mind-blowing festivals from around the globe. We're talking about events so wild, so out there, that you'll be questioning if they're even real. Spoiler alert, they are. From tomato fights that would make your Italian grandma blush to firewalking that'll make your eyebrows singe off, these festivals will leave you in awe. So buckle up, grab your passport and get ready to dive into a world of cultural chaos. First stop, Spain. And no, we're not talking about those running-of-the-bull shenanigans. This is even crazier. It's called La Tomatina, and it's basically a giant food fight, but instead of mashed potatoes and peas, they use tomatoes. Imagine being in a crowd of thousands, all geared up in white clothes, just waiting for the signal. Then boom! Trucks loaded with overripe tomatoes arrive, and it's a free-for-all tomato war. People go nuts, chucking tomatoes left, right and center. The streets turn into rivers of red, and everyone's covered head to toe in tomato pulp. It's messy, it's chaotic, and it looks like the most fun you can have with a fruit that's not a grape. The craziest part, nobody really knows how this whole tomato throwing tradition started. Some say it began with a food fight between friends, others say it was a protest. Whatever the reason, it's one heck of a party. And hey, if you're worried about wasting food, don't be. They use overripe tomatoes that are basically unusable for anything else. Plus, think of all the free tomato fertilizer for next year's crop. Next up, we're heading to Greece, where things are about to get heated, literally. Every year in the village of Agia Eleni, people gather to celebrate the feast of Saints Constantine and Helen. But this isn't your typical church service with cookies and punch afterward. We're talking about firewalking. Yes, you heard that right, walking on burning hot coals. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jimmy, are these people nuts? Well, they might be a little bit crazy, but it's all part of a religious ritual that's been going on for centuries. Participants believe that by walking across the hot coals, they're purified and protected from harm. They spend days preparing themselves mentally and spiritually, and they say that when they're in the moment, they don't even feel the heat. Now, I'm not saying you should try this at home. In fact, I'm begging you not to. Leave the firewalking to the professionals, or better yet, just watch it on TV from the comfort of your couch. All right, after that fiery experience, let's cool down a bit with something a little less dangerous, relatively speaking. Welcome to Gloucestershire, England, home of the Cooper's Hill cheese rolling and wake. Now, I'm a big fan of cheese, but I'm not sure I'd chase a wheel of it down a steep hill. But that's exactly what they do in this wacky festival. They take a giant wheel of double Gloucester cheese, let it loose down a ridiculously steep hill, and then a bunch of people throw themselves after it. The first person to cross the finish line at the bottom of the hill gets to keep the cheese, which, considering they've probably tumbled head over heels down a hill, is a pretty good consolation prize. It's a chaotic, hilarious spectacle with people tripping, falling and generally looking like they're having the time of their lives. And hey, even if you don't win the cheese, at least you can say you participated in one of the most ridiculous traditions on earth. Alright folks, buckle up because this next one is a doozy. We're going back to Spain, but this time we're talking about a festival that's a little unconventional. It's called El Colacho, and it involves babies, devils, and a whole lot of jumping. Now, before you call Child Protective Services, let me explain. In the town of Castrillo de Murcia, they celebrate Corpus Christi with a festival that involves men dressed as devils jumping over babies lying on mattresses in the street. Yeah, you heard that right. Devils jumping over babies. And it's supposed to be a way of cleansing the babies of sin and protecting them from evil spirits. And hey, who am I to argue with centuries-old tradition? But still, if I were one of those parents, I think I'd be holding my breath the entire time. Next stop, Thailand. And no, we're not talking about those beaches you see on postcards. We're going to Laburi, a town famous for its monkeys. Thousands of macaques roam free in this town. And every year they get treated to a feast of epic proportions. It's called the Monkey Buffet Festival, and it's basically a giant buffet for our primate pals. We're talking mountains of fruit, vegetables, rice, and even desserts, all laid out for the monkeys to enjoy. And enjoy it they do, stuffing their faces and causing general mayhem. It's a sight to behold, and it's a testament to the Thai people's respect for animals. Plus, it's probably the only time you'll ever see a monkey eat a banana with a knife and fork. You didn't think we were done with La Tomatina, did you? I mean, it's a festival where you get to throw tomatoes at people. It's so ridiculous, it deserves a second mention. Just picture it. You're covered head to toe in tomato pulp. The air is thick with the smell of tomatoes, and everyone around you is laughing hysterically. It's like a giant food fight, but instead of getting in trouble, you get celebrated. So if you're ever feeling stressed out, overworked, or just need a good laugh, book a ticket to Boryeong, Spain for La Tomatina. It's the perfect way to let loose, embrace the absurd, and get your tomato fix for the year. Just remember to bring a change of clothes, and maybe a snorkel.
All right, I know what you're thinking. Jimmy, you already told us about El Colacho. And you're right, I did. But this festival is so wild, so unbelievable that it deserves a second look. I mean, come on, men dressed as devils jumping over babies? It's like something out of a medieval painting, but it's happening in the 21st century. It's a testament to the power of tradition, the importance of community, and the fact that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. So if you're ever in Spain in late May or early June, head to Castrillo de Murcia and witness El Colacho for yourself. Just be prepared to have your mind blown.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to Japan for a festival that's a little unconventional. Let's just say it involves things that might make your grandma blush. It's called Kanamara Matsuri, also known as the Festival of the Steel Phallus. And yes, you heard that right. This festival is all about celebrating fertility, good health, and, well, you know. The main event is a parade where they carry giant, elaborately decorated shrines shaped like, well, you get the picture. People dress up in costumes, there's music, dancing, and a whole lot of laughter. It's definitely not your typical festival, but hey, different cultures, different strokes, right? Get ready to get dirty because we're heading to Boryeong, South Korea, for the muddiest festival on earth. The Boryeong Mud Festival is a celebration of all things mud. And when I say all things mud, I mean it. We're talking mud wrestling, mud slides, mud baths, mud painting, and even a mud prison. People come from all over the world to slather themselves in mud and let loose. It's a giant, messy, hilarious party, and it's the perfect way to embrace your inner child. Plus, they say the mud has healing properties, so you can feel good about getting dirty. Our final stop takes us to Mexico for a festival that's both celebratory and somber, the Day of the Dead, or Dia de Muertos. Now, don't let the name fool you. This isn't a morbid or scary holiday. It's a time to remember and honor loved ones who have passed away. Families create beautiful altars or ofrendas decorated with flowers, candles, food, and photos of their deceased relatives. They visit cemeteries, share stories, and celebrate the lives of those that they've lost. It's a beautiful and moving tribute to life and death, and it's a reminder that even though our loved ones are gone, they're never forgotten. Well, folks, there you have it. 10 of the most mind-blowing, unbelievable festivals from around the world. From tomato fights to firewalking, cheese rolling to monkey buffet, we've seen it all. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through some of the world's weirdest festivals. We've traveled from Spain to Greece, England to Thailand, Japan to South Korea, and finally to Mexico, all in the name of exploring the bizarre and wonderful world of cultural celebrations. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And hey, if you know of any other crazy festivals we should check out, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay weird, world.